Business editor Richard Southern joins us once again. And Richard, we talked a couple weeks ago about Japanese theme parks asking people to scream on the inside while on the rides. But here in the GTA, amusement parks have been left out of Stage 3. Canada's Wonderland wants to change that.
Yeah, I mean, they're up in Vaughan, and they're in Stage 3 up there, but they're not allowed to reopen. But Canada's Wonderland, Janella tells me, they have submitted now a proposal to the Ford government. And if it gets accepted, this proposal, your Wonderland trip would look a lot different. First off, you'd have to reserve your spot to get in and go on those rides so they can limit the amount of people in the park. When you arrive, you'd have to have your temperature taken. You'd have to follow some social distancing protocols, and you'd have to wear a mask in all areas of the park, Wonderland says. It also, and this is interesting, Janella, Wonderland says it would ask all visitors to wash their hands every 20 minutes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, hard to probably enforce that. They also say they will sanitize rides frequently. Rides will have some block seats and block rows, but there would be some rides, it says, that wouldn't be allowed to reopen because they just can't properly socially distance on them. So it's been tough going for Wonderland, Janella. They've, of course, been closed for the entire season. We'll see what the government has to say about this.
I'm curious if that means that I don't have to stand in line. Do I reserve my spot on the rides or just my entry?
Yeah, the company on its website said it would just be for the entry,
Okay.
but presumably there would be far fewer people in the park than normal, so it's reasonable to expect that maybe those lines would be shorter.
They didn't specify if screaming was allowed or not in this one.
Probably would follow that screaming on the inside rule out of Japan, I would imagine. Try to keep quiet on the rides, Janella.
Doesn't sound like a fun time to me. I'll wait till next summer. Okay, the pandemic has taken a big bite out of McDonald's bottom line.
Yeah, first full quarter for the pandemic in from the world's largest restaurant chain, McDonald's, announcing plans today to close 200 of its U.S. locations because it said its global sales were down 30% in the quarter. Profit fell 68%. The company said it's spending heavily to try and convince people to come back, particularly for breakfast. It, like many companies, hurting in that breakfast time frame. It's giving its franchises $200 million. For marketing efforts. It's interesting, Janella, it might need fewer restaurants if the future is in delivery. If it's in e-commerce, you're not going to need all these dining rooms. So interesting shift there for McDonald's.
Yeah, so we are eating out less, and that has provided a big boost to another segment of the food industry.
Found this quite interesting. Breakfast cereal and oatmeal sales way up here in the last couple of months. And it's very notable because breakfast cereal sales were actually in the dumps for a number of years going into the
We were
pandemic.
all going to the McDonald's drive-thru in Tim Hortons.
That's exactly it, right? I mean, we're eating breakfast at home a lot more. General Mills, which makes a lot of these cereals, say their factories are now running at capacity to try and keep pace with this resurgence in sales. And PepsiCo, which makes Quaker Oats, says sales are up 23%. We've discovered eating brekkie at home again. You and I are back just after 6:30. I love this. We're going to talk about the new NASA Mars rover. It's blasting off on Thursday morning. Some very interesting tidbits. We're going to talk about the red planet coming up later on City.
All right, can't wait. We'll see you next hour.
Thanks.